A guy who's been a starter before, played at the highest level. And right off the bat, you see Shiva and Stock. So that is the stuff that we like to see out of the guys on H2K.
It's something, you know, if you're new, I know we had a lot of new viewers coming over probably for FaZe versus Optic. I know there's a lot of great stuff going on with that, but if you're sticking around, if you're watching this next matchup, this protect and ban phase, you know, it's new to Call of Duty on the competitive side of stuff, and it can be such a game changer. Yeah, so Stock is shocking. Heat Wave, you know, taking that ability out. We don't see it banned that frequently, but we know how dominant it can be for sure.
No, I mean, some of the biggest all of the biggest plays I feel like we've seen.
We just saw the Karma, right?
Yeah, and you see Afterburner go there at the end. So it's one we see go a lot on evac. Afterburner, you know, allows you to get that boost meter back pretty quick, and you're able to just make some interesting things with the wall running happen. You're going to see a Purifier come out from Luminosity. Expect to see that one on this one from both sides. You're going to see Legal pull it out for H2K. Kinetic armor from both teams. Fully expect that. Fear's one of the better players we have with the Annihilator. Do we see that on this map? No, we're actually going to see him up for the Scythe. Scythe, much better option on evac. Then we still have John going to go with the camo. You figure Replays probably uses a gun here. Close things out, man.
All right, well, FizzUp Replays picking the last two. Scythe for Replays. I'm a little bit surprised to see that just because of his role on the team. You know, not guys strikes me as being the Scythe operator, but Overdrive you're going to see makes it in as well. That's going to go to FizzUp. So Purifier, Scythe, the weapon combinations for both of these teams. The only difference then going to be what Camo and Overdrive, I believe, for opposite sides. Now,
I like Overdrive on respawns.
I feel like Overdrive even
battled me. What are you going to say about it?
Well, I was trying to
say about Overdrive and Respawn.
I was trying to think about where. No, in Respawns, of course, but in Hardpoint, it's not as good as it is, obviously, if you're talking about Uplink or CTF. But do you think it actually? At first, I was going to say I like it more on bigger maps because you have longer rotations. But actually, on this map, where you can use one Overdrive to get from like one side of the map to the other side,
instantly to the other,
I kind of like that a lot too.
Yeah, I think it's great. You know, what you're going to see the player with Overdrive do on a map like evac and a game mode like Hardpoint is they're going to try and use that Overdrive to take some extra time on that hill, but still win that rotational battle going all the way across map. You're able to cover so much ground with Overdrive. Interesting to see it being used, and especially by FizzUp. It seems like H2K, at least with that early ban and protect, getting rid of Stock and doing some interesting things, getting back to what we saw them have success with in those first few weeks.
Could not agree more. Now, Twitter. We heard your thoughts leading up to Optic versus FaZe. We wanted to know what was the deciding factor for these guys. Who was going to win the map? But for this one, who is the MVP from FaZe versus Optic? We know that was the big match of the night. Who do you think really led the way for Optic? I mean, if you want to pick an MVP from FaZe, by all means, go ahead. But I think this is one where you're going to be looking to Optic with the 3-1 victory. Make sure to use the hashtag CWLPS4. Tweet it myself, Matt, the COD World League. We'd love to hear your guys' thoughts, but we're getting ready to kick things off here. It's going to be evac, Hardpoint, Luminosity.
Who would you vote for
up against H2K? Who would I vote for as the MVP? I'm trying to think. Led the way. It was kind of what? Formal game one. They lost the S&D. Trying to think who went big in the uplink. Karma, I like Karma a lot in the CTF. I'm trying to think the uplink. They all kind of played really well in the
Scum played really well in the uplink. You saw Karma have some good games in Search and Destroy and CTF. And then you had Formal really go big in that first respawn. And Crim played solid all throughout.
That's not an easy choice.
No.
My MVP of that series is going to be Karma.
Yeah.
Karma.
It's good to see him playing well again.
It really is. And I think,
took a lot of heat last year.
He did. And to be fair, I think he had...
Some of it was warranted, though. I mean, he did not play as the Karma we've seen in the past.
I think mostly... Karma, I love him to death.
It's
bit of a quirky guy at times, and I feel he got in his own head a little bit. Just, it was kind of a mental thing. It's never been talent or skill for him, I feel like.
Mental thing. I think
you don't think so? A little bit? He's got under his own skin a bit?
I don't think Advanced Warfare was his best
He's back. Black Ops 3. Karma has been playing amazing, but now it is Luminosity going up against H2K.
First time we see the Vesper today.
Oh, the Vesper coming into action.
We haven't seen it been banned, and that is the first time we've seen it, and that is a very interesting way. Just darting in the hill, hip firing with the Vesper, not going to work out in FizzUp's favor. We'll have to keep an eye on how he performs using that weapon, as it's something that we saw banned so frequently in the first few weeks. Now after it gets adjusted a little bit, you see FizzUp go away from it right away. He's actually going to switch over to the Kuda. And start to see a lot of players go towards the VMP and the Kuda now.
All right, well, let's check out Legal. Now, Matt, for viewers at home, if they're a little bit new to competitive Call of Duty, give them kind of a breakdown of Hardpoint. What are the important things? How's the game mode play out? just give a little bit of a lesson with Matt here.
So obviously, hard point, you're going to have to control these hills. Hill going to rotate every 60 seconds. The overall game clock does not tick down when you're in control of the hard point. And what you're really going to be focusing on is controlling the spawns for your team. So what you see John doing right now is he's trying to control that back area, because when you control this hill, if you control that back area, your team's going to spawn closer to the hill. Right next to it, you're able to push in and regain it once you lose it, or the other team starts to make a push easy. And now you see the guys on Luminosity, they're going to have to spawn all the way out across the map. As you see, the guys on H2K have broken that position, and now they're going to be able to start racking up points.
So if you're a new viewer and we're really watching any game type, you know, one of the things I know when I'm commentating, and you'll see me blow up the minimap a lot, so you can kind of take a look. It's one thing to learn to kind of train your eyes on, whether you're playing, whether you're watching.
And Legal's got full streaks ready.
The minimap is absolutely huge. Legal 7-3. I mean, not having the craziest game to start. 8-3 as he's on a 2 streak, but he's gonna have full streaks. Okay, I take it back. Legal, you're just getting every kill. Everyone just got slaughtered. They're all 4 players pushing in back steps, just getting melted.
Everyone spawns on the left-hand side. Obviously, you wouldn't push this at the last like 15 seconds.
He's gonna use some streaks. He's about to get him again.
It's like, yeah, we're not gonna push that. We're just gonna.
Well, you know, as I tell you about how important the minimap is, Legal decides it's important to kill everyone in the game.
Yeah, I mean, there's an easy way to make up for some.
I'm going back to
bad
Legal,
rotations and whatnot. Not saying anyone rotated bad there, but you can definitely make up for things by killing everyone. And Legal picks up one with a Semtex cross map, flies in, takes out another.
No, don't do it to him!
My.
Legal 14-4, a 3 streak. He has his Purifier. He has full streaks.
So with a ban or protect phase, you kind of take away the assault rifle. I don't want to say take it away, but you know, with how good the VMP is now, when you get rid of stock and make those AR players just kind of standing targets, you can definitely win those with the VMP, and you're seeing Legal in a big way coming up with the SMG here in Game 1.
Yeah, Legal has been just insane. He challenges
he doesn't miss.
How's he still alive?
He doesn't miss.
He has been just hitting all of his shots, tries to go up more. He was so tagged up, he's ultimately going to drop. I don't care. I'm going back to him. This is the Legal show right now. He's 16-5. He's got double to triple almost everywhere on the map, and now he's going to pop the Cerberus. So if you haven't used this and you're new to the game, it is basically a mobile tank that can inflict more damage than it usually receives.
It's a very good score streak. And I wanted to say, I don't think it's like easy to earn, but you know, you pick up a few kills in the hard point, you can get one. It's a huge difference maker.
Oh, it absolutely is. I mean, I wouldn't say easy, but is it maybe easy for how effective it is? I think that's something I might be able to get on board with.
Oh, but I think for what you'll get out of the score,
very cost effective. Well, it just got blown away by a ton of EMPs.
For the score streak and what it does, I think you definitely, for like the points it costs, definitely get the best.
There? He's got the fire coming to the face, and that was, what was it?
Saints able to react.
Saints able to get it. God. What a kill.
Saints with some nice reaction time, but coming through this first rotation of hills, it's all H2K. It's LG, they've been on a little bit of a tear recently, playing pretty well. H2K, a team that has not looked good over the last few games. Started out really hot, tied for first, undefeated within the first week and a half, then really just kind of started to fall off completely. And this would be a big win for them against a team, Luminosity, that's been playing very well as of late.
I could not agree more. Let's see who is going to be able to take this first map. H2K looking strong early on. Legal kind of the backbone they needed to put up those big slaying numbers. It was kind of Fears leading the way early. Legal doing a part of it as well. But this team, they looked like they had the Slayers to hang with top teams and respawn. That's just not really been the case lately. Looking poised to take one now, though, but they're only up, despite the fact that Legal had such a monster start to the game. Look at the score, Matt. They're only up by 10 points. It's kind of hard to believe, right, when somebody has full streaks by the second hard point.
It's kind of unreal to think about. I mean, when a guy has a Cerberus, and now it's pretty much going to be a tie game going into this second hill. Well, not really a tie game as H2K takes the hill back, but Luminosity set up to take a ton of time on this next one. You got to think, if you are H2K, you'd like to have a bigger lead than this.
You certainly will, because there's nobody really going off at all for the side of Luminosity, and they're barely trailing. I mean, they only have two players that are positive right now, plus 2 is going to be Saints and Spacely. You see John flying in, though. He's able to win a nice gunfight. I thought it was a car. Friendly car exploding on him. It looks like he actually did take a shot to the face there. You have a sight up for replays. That's one you're going to want to save for the next hard point, you would think. One that you can make a play here. But he's coming in. A couple of nice shots going in there to pick up one. Saint's going to be left in the hard point. He's trying to rack up some time. You can see via the X-ray vision, the floods are coming. Everyone flying forward here.
Yeah, and you have replays. He's going to actually just
guard up through
that right-hand side. Yeah, you do have a lead change here as John in the hill. able to control it, but replays. I was actually on board with him, looking to see what angle he was taking. He was coming up top. He's able to flank and pick up 2 easy kills. And Luminosity, even though Legal gets off to one of the hottest starts we've seen in a very long time, takes the lead.
Now, how do you play this? Because if you're replays and you have a scythe, you want to have control of the corner hard point really before you pop this. Do you try to break it with a scythe? I feel like that's going to be a little more risky, right?
I mean, you could. It is definitely risky.
Can you check through the guys real quick on H2K? Does anyone have anything on their side set up really nicely for this hard point?
You got Lacefield with a kinetic armor, and you still have Legal with a lightning strike, but really nothing much on the side of H2K.
I love the move. Look at the route there for replays. He's able to pick up one before he drops. I didn't know if I was seeing if they had a Scythe or an Annihilator, a Scythe Purifier for both, right? Scythe or a Purifier available.
Well, Legal's going to call in his lightning, so that is going to be it for score streaks from Legal. So if you are LG, even if you don't take any more time on this hill and you rotate for the next one, at least you burned all of his streaks. No more Cerberus, no more Hellstorm, no more lightning.
And this is what I was talking about, man. A Scythe is so risky when you're trying to actually break a hard point. If you're trying to hold something, it works really well. But you saw replays try to use that offensively. I don't think he got anything. Got a hit marker on a teammate, got a hit marker on like 2 players in the opposition, but didn't pick up any kills. Not really able to turn that to fruition, get anything going there with this scythe. But here we have under 3 minutes to play. 16-point advantage here for H2K. Can they close out game 1 and take this one from LG?
Spacely, though, set up in the hill. Luminosity not going away easy. You see all 4 members of H2K pushing through the front. It's going to be Spacely able to win one gunfight. Players just flooding in. You see the Purifier come out of Legal. He's able to pick up 2 with it. He's going to drop as Saint picks up 2. Lacefield in the hill. The hill just going back and forth amongst these teams. It's going to be Fizzerp and Lacefield able to get control of it for
there's
H2K.
The camo break.
But there's that camo break. Camo's so good in these respawn game modes, and it's going to come up with a big kill right there.
Yeah, you kind of saw him. You know, it's a little bit easier for us with the X-ray vision.
Yeah.
And I was like, why isn't he shooting at this guy?
Because he is invisible.
Yeah, that makes it difficult, as he could not see him flying in, but we've had yet another lead change. This one is back and forth as you can possibly ask for in a hard point. The action has been fast and furious. Can't wait to see who's able to come up clutch here in the closing moments as we're getting close to that 250 score for either of these teams. Replays flying forward. He's going to find 2. There's another one there. He tosses his trophy in that evaporated.
Yeah, I believe they just saw a ton of nades come in from H2K. That's why it got taken out with a quickness. Replay's doing a good job just contesting it, letting his other teammates get aggressive and fight for the hill, and he's actually going to be able to pick up an HC car here before he's taken out by Fears up top. So Fears actually goes over to a VMP as well. So at this moment in time, you may have everybody on the map running SMGs. You know, when we talked about that stock ban coming into play early, believe it was the guys on H2K that got rid of the stock. But you know, when you have a great AR player like Fears, you almost want to leave it in. He's still having a pretty good game, but you talk about how much more effective he is with an AR in his hand than a sub. It's like night and day.
It really is, and you got to think you have a lot of strong sub players on Luminosity. You know, you got to admire H2K trying to mix this up, change the pace of the game, because that certainly is a difference maker. We'll see the HC car coming out of replays right now. He's going to grab one coming out the back. That player has flak jacket, though, so he's not able to pick up that kill. You have that added armor against explosives. Now, they're set up here for the second hard point, what I think our 3rd rotation here through these. They've got the spawn in the back control, but who's that wrapping all the way back? That's Lacefield. Lacefield tops kinetic. He's in a good chance to possibly steal the spawn, and he does. He gets 2. They're trailing by 50 points. He has to keep going. He's able to get 3, ultimately 3 down for either side. The hard point's basically wide open right now. They're all flying back in.
Here
That's
comes
gonna
the
be Spacely.
flames.
He's toasting everybody, able to get 2, I think, before he ends up actually dropping. But Control going to Luminosity. They need 6 more points. 20 seconds remaining on this hard point. Trying to fly in, trying to close this one out, but for the time being, it's going to be Control here for the side of H2K.
If you're Luminosity, you just rotate. You look at everyone from H2K just huddled around the hill, and now you see
they're set up, dude.
Luminosity setting up for that next hard point. Going to try and win the game on this next one. Fierce pops his scythe. He's going to be able to pick up one on rotation. Saint's in a big position here. He's able to pick up one, trying to stay alive. Doesn't get another one, and look at this. It's going to be H2K in control of the hill.
Oh my God, if they come back with this.
They're going to be able to pinch. Luminosity able to pinch from both sides. John and Saints both pick up kills. See Lacefield and Fierce trying to do their best in the kill feed.
That should be it.
The hill goes to Luminosity. It looks like nobody in position to break.
They get it. Luminosity takes game 1, and that I like the early rotation. H2K did a pretty good job of breaking that final hard point, but ultimately Luminosity only needed 6 points. They just had to get a little bit of junk time there. They're able to do it. Great game 1, but between these two teams that are both desperately needing a win?
I mean, H2K much more than Luminosity. Luminosity is a team that has won, I believe, like 3 or 4 straight games.
Looking to make it 4.
And H2K is a team who's lost, what is it now, 5 or 6 straight?
6 straight. This would be 7.
6 straight. And they haven't even won many maps in this.
No, it's been extremely tough. Yeah, so they need this in a bad way. And what's frustrating is, again,
they got off to a great start.
Legal crushes from the get-go. We'll take a look at the stats a little bit. I think he ends up something like 38 and 31. So he has a monster game to kick things off. Has full streaks, and it turns into what, a 10 to 20 point lead. And I know
you got to have that turn into something more.
You would think when you get the full streaks that you're able to. When you have a Cerberus, you have a Lightning, you have a Hellstorm. You would think at least that corner hard point, you might be able to get 50, 45 to like 60 points. Somewhere in there.
And they didn't even get, when they used the streaks, they didn't even get the hills back.
No.
Like they used that Lightning, and they're not even really able to take that control of the hill back. So we'll take a look at the scoreboard real quick. Talk about Luminosity first. John, 33 and 32, a minute and 50. Just look at how balanced they are with the time and hill, and even in the slaying department. Replays, he finishes 26 and 30.
Yeah, it was kind of objective by committee. They were all getting it done. They all got involved in the slaying. Pretty solid games out of everybody. That's the kind of stat line you like to see from a team, right?
Everybody in the hill, everybody playing around the objective. On the side for H2K, it was really legal with a big start to the game. Finishes with 38 kills, the most in the lobby. Lacefield has a good game as well, 34 and 32, a minute 39 the hill. And then Fierce goes positive as well.
That kind of stat line you see here from the side of LG reminds me of like a Rise Nation stat line, you know, just like really balanced killing, really everyone kind of getting involved in the hard point, you know, everything was very, very balanced. And they have the talent to, you feel like, compete with a team like Rise Nation. When you just look at the names, if you just look at the talent on this roster, you think they're there. And they're starting to get there, you know? Now, what do you think? The Cerberus, do you consider saving it all the way to the next corner hard point? Popping it on glass, I think, makes it a little too susceptible to EMPs, or maybe they just didn't get trophies out. I'm not sure exactly, but it got rocked pretty quick. I didn't even see if it picked up.
Yeah, I mean, you saw Legal had trophies, but you can't really set up trophies around Cerberus. It's like it kind of has a mind of its own. It's like roaming around. It's really no great way to protect it. Well, I feel like I probably would have saved it for the corner hardpoint, though. I agree with you. I would have saved it for corner.
Yeah, I mean, just a little more. I feel like it's just in such a tight little spot there in the glass.
It would have given more of an effect if you had it over in the corner hardpoint.
You would think, but obviously, you know, the way he was playing, he might have thought, hey, I'm about to get another Cerberus.
Yeah,
he was lighting it up early on. What was he, 14 and 4?
I don't blame him with the way he got off to that hot start.
Sure.
You would have figured he would have just kept on going with it. Now, just waiting to get into this next lobby here. Let's see who am I gonna be joining on? I'm gonna join on.
I think we're just waiting for a new lobby, so I'm going to go ahead and just restart here real quick, get ready for the next one.
So after what you saw in that first map, you know, the guys on H2K start off pretty hot. They end up losing it anyway. Did they lose the series? So like kind of like a big question to ask.
If you're asking if game one kind of decides the series?
Dictates how the rest of the series goes?
All right. I'm going to break this down mathematically.
Yes.
I'm not going to do that. This comes down to the S&D. This is the one. This was kind of what you think would be the bread and butter for H2K. They looked very, very strong early on. They've been kind of, again, little hit and miss, a little inconsistent. Some of the tactics they were using early in the game haven't really been as effective. They have to win the S&D. They have to. If they do, I think they give themselves certainly a chance in the series. We've seen them come back from down 2-0 before. I think it was against CLG early in the season. It's been so long since they've won a game. It's hard to think back that far, but they have to win this game too. They have to.
Yeah, without a doubt. This is a team that, like Maven was saying, you know, one of the stronger search and destroy teams earlier in stage one. Now the game changing so much with the ban of attack. You know, obviously, you know, Treyarch updating the game constantly, things changing a little bit, that they just have not figured out a play style that's been working for them as of late.
All right, have you got into? I might be in the right lobby. I have no idea.
No, you're not.
Are you?
I should be in a second.
Which one am I joining? Give me a number.
I'm trying to join.
I tried for a second. All right, I think they're still putting it together.
Oh,
okay, so just a second here while waiting the guys to get into the next lobby for this game. Now, taking a look forward in case you you know, you're Luminosity H2K fans, you didn't watch any of the series prior. We're going to be going to Stronghold S&D, UPLINK on French, CTF Breach, and Search and Destroy on evac. So that'll be our best of 5 maps here if we need to go the distance. Again, I really think this kind of comes down to game 2 for me. If H2K is able to come alive and potentially put on some pressure here.
Yeah, I think this one comes down to game 2 as well. Luminosity, a team that is definitely on the rise. They looked really sloppy those first, 2 weeks of play. Now they're really starting to figure out, how to play with each other. They're gaining some chemistry, and they're starting to look quite good.
All right, well, waiting. Sorry, guys, I apologize for the delay. We should be good to go in just a moment here once we can get everybody set up. But looking forward to continuing the series. I just want to see. It's been fun to watch LG. They're a very, very fun team to watch when they're winning, when things seem to be clicking for these guys. Very, very... I guess kind of a high-flying team. They have so much talent on it. When you look at it, they have the young talent. Spacely, just turned 18 this year. This is going to be his first COD
Saints and
champs.
John, 2 very good players as well.
Two young talented players. And then Replay's kind of, still a young guy, but still kind of fills that veteran role. When you win a world championship like he did last year with Denial, you sort of just instantly, I feel like, go into like veteran status for me. Like if you win COD champs, you're a veteran.
Right. You're in a good. Yeah, you are a veteran.
You won a ton of money. And you're hella classy.
And he's been a player who's been on some successful teams over the last few years. Replays, been a good captain, been a good leader, very experienced. I think he brings a lot to a team. Happy he's kind of found his home on Luminosity roster. Because I remember towards the end of Advanced Warfare, me and him were chatting a little bit, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know what I should do. I don't know if I should keep playing or not."
Sorry, who are we talking about?
Replays.
The Replays, yeah.
Yeah, now he seemed to found a really nice home on Luminosity.
He has, and this team, I think, I was worried, where if the struggles continued, I was like, where does the team change come? Like, who kind of gets targeted for this? Because sometimes it's the guy like Replays that isn't always the flashiest of player, and like a Respawn doesn't always put up the most kills, kind of does the dirty work, and that's the guy sometimes that gets targeted when you're looking to make a team change. That's like the easy answer.
But it's never really
it's
that guy's
not always, but it's the easy one to justify, though. If you're a player.
The guy that's putting up the least amount of kills.
Yeah,
let's get rid of that guy.
See you later. But the way they've bounced back and they've mounted some wins here, I think it's looking much better certainly for this roster. Winning kind of fixes any issues. Like we were talking about Envy earlier. It's a team that can bite each other's heads off. They can battle back and forth like they're brothers growing up together. But when it comes down to
I feel like every team needs that in-game leader, though. They might not put up the most kills, but as long as they're not really hurting you. I'm not saying the guy's going 15 and 30 and you keep holding on to him, but the guy's around even and he has some big moments where he puts up some positive numbers in the kill or death department, and he's able to just guide your team through games and make it easier on the other players where they don't have to focus on the nuances of when to rotate and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's a huge asset to a team.
Are you able to get in? I'm good to go.
I'm just waiting to get in. Actually, I think they got to open it up.
Well, there's
one more.
I think there's an extra person in here.
Yes, there is. There's an extra person.
As soon as we get that player out of the lobby, it's one of the staff accounts, so we just have to get that cleared up, and you should be able to join. But looking forward to S&D. Now, when you're talking about Stronghold, this particular map, sniping can certainly be a big factor amongst other things, obviously. But who do you give the edge here to? Is it going to be H2K? Is it Luminosity? And why?
In terms of sniping, I think Replays is a very good sniper. I would actually favor Luminosity.
I think for the other side, it's been Fizzer mostly we've seen using the sniper. Sometimes other guys will pull it out, but I want to say mostly it's definitely been Fizzer. I think okay, you're in.
We're good. We're good. Yeah,
should be ready to start in just a moment.
Just waiting on the players.
But when we talk about this map, I honestly, I think I'm giving the edge to LG, even though I like H2K as an S&D team, or I
would give it to LG as well. They just seem like they're.
And John's been playing really well in S&D for me. I've cast a couple games where he's gone big.
Didn't Luminosity go up 5-1 against Optic, and they lost that one?
Yes. Yeah, that was hard to cast.
Yeah, those games are rough to cast.
When you're up 5-1 and you just watch.
You can see it unraveling, and you're like, oh no.
Yeah, it's just like this kind of slow build. You're like, oh, this is getting uglier and uglier and uglier, and then it just plateaus with the.
That's the one where John had 13 kills, and then Saints team killed him. Just shot him in the last round. Team killed him.
All right.
Bizarre stuff. That's the type of stuff we saw from Luminosity early. But now you're not seeing that. They're not team killing each other on accident. They're playing pretty well.
Seems to be on the same page. I just looked over at the multi-sync over there. And
what's going on? Oh my!
I'm playing tennis on the multi-sync. Can we show this shot of what I just realized? There's
excellent.
The multi-sync is 9 televisions put together, and that's what I just looked over at. That is me earlier describing how Matt played tennis at tennis camp.
That looks like you're trying to hit like a baseball or something. Anyway.
You can see how athletic I am.
It's going to be Spacely getting rid of the SVG there early. Going to be the first weapon to go. The Shiva going to get protected in this one. Very interesting.
This has been the only team. H2K is the only team that really messes with the Shiva when it comes to actually protecting and really, really liking to use it. I can't think of another team that wants to have it in play. Can you?
No. I think this team on H2K probably the one that likes the Shiva the best. Like Fizzer and Fears both like to use it, but now you see Stock gone, you see High Caliber gone, you see Rapid Fire gone. Once you start attacking that gun with just attachments, it's just very difficult to make it effective, especially now not being able to use it with Stock. Like, how are you going to push up into Mansion with a Shiva?
Whoa. Wasn't the Stock the first ban for H2K?
In the first game.
Yeah, it was H2K, right?
Yes, now it's going to be out of the sight on LG.
Yeah, that's why I was asking. I was like looking at it, I'm like, what?
Well, you saw, I mean, obviously.
Favored them, right?
Yeah, favored them, so why not just keep using it? Afterburner going to go flashbangs as well.
Now, the Stock, okay, now I know Stock isn't as important in an S&D as a respawn, maybe, but do you know how hard it is to get on people with the Shiva sometimes when they're flying at you like fast pace? It's that much harder without Stock, right? Does that negate the Shiva a little bit?
I think in a map like this one, where it's really about the offensive team putting that pressure over towards Mansion, over by the B bomb site.
How do you apply pressure with a no Stock Shiva?
You don't.
It's tough, right?
And what are you going to do? Sit at range? I mean, overkill's allowed. Are you going to run the Shiva like overkill VMP?
I don't hate that. I don't think it'll happen. I don't hate that.
I don't hate it either. I don't think we'll see it either, but you see Fizzer going to go with Heatwave, Saints as well. Legal going to go active camo, Kinetic from both sides as well. Fully expect a camo on the side of LG. Replays goes Vision Pulse. Do we see Fears go Vision Pulse? Do we see him stay with something different? Nope, so we're going to see a Vision Pulse out of him. Same things from both teams here.
Yeah, that's
what stands out for you the most? I think the Shiva Protect and then the Stock and the stuff like that out of LG.
Anytime a attachment outside of High Caliber rapid fire gets hit, it's kind of a shock to a degree, I'd say. We know when Grip, Stock, stuff like that gets attacked. I think that's kind of the biggest point of contention. The Shiva getting protected as well, I think was. Do you think Fizzer did that if the snipe didn't go? Because he usually is the guy that he plays with the SVG. He sees the SVG go. His answer is to play with the Shiva.
Potentially, I think this
was he just going to be protecting
this is an H2K team that likes to play with the Shiva in multiple game modes. They like to do it in hardpoint. They like to do it in uplink.
It kind of felt like the three attacked each other. Like they attacked the sniper. He's like, all right, I'm protecting the Shiva. They're like, all right, you want your Shiva? I'm taking away Stock. Like it's just kind of going back and forth, right?
And that is like, I feel like the biggest, well, it's the biggest attachment for assault rifle Stock, but also you look at the Shiva. Quick draw, you're using it mostly at like long range. Is quick draw like a must need on the Shiva? Probably not. I mean, you'd love to have it.
It's not. I guess not as important as.
But it doesn't. But I'm saying the attachment that has the biggest effect on the gun is Stock. Do you need grip that much on the Shiva?
No, grip's not the conversation, but Stock or quick draw is a conversation. I think.
But if you get with a quick draw, then you don't have anything for your subs to really kind of counter with.
Yeah, if you have fast hands, then quick draw's not as important. But yeah, no, Stock's definitely the most important, I'd say. Yeah, especially when you're playing against a team that's going to want to come at you with subs, which I think that's what we're going to see from LG, man. They're going to.
Yeah, you're going to see Luminosity just fly at Mansion with subs. That's what I expect you're going to see. You're going to see the B bomb site. It's going to be over by the steps. The A bombs are going to be inside of Mansion. It's going to be hotly contested by the offensive side. And
hotly?
Yes.
This one, I'm taking LG to go up 2-0.
That's all you got for me?
For some reason,
you're going to cut me off, and then all you're going to say is...
I want to repeat your word with a British accent.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hotly? I have no idea why. That's just what came in my head when you said that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a little bit deranged.
It's going to be bunker. You're going to see players trying to push over towards there, get a flank on the defensive team. Should be a good one. I'm going to take Luminosity as well. I feel like this H2K team, they haven't figured out what's going wrong with them, and I really want to see these guys succeed because it was so fun to watch them early in stage 1 where they were really playing well.
Could not agree more. Luminosity, H2K ready to hop into game 2 here. Stronghold S&D. Apologize for the delays between games. Just a quick issue getting everyone together here to get started. Now let's go. Offense is going to be going to H2K first. I want to go with Fizzerp. Let's take a look at his class. And, you know, you protect the Shiva, but you bust out the Locust.
No, interesting. Does he have a Shiva overkill, or is anyone?
No, he has
so,
VMP.
Lacefield is going to be running VMP. Fizzerp is going to be running overkill with a VMP on the Locust, and Man of War on Fears, and then an M8 on Legal. So they protect the Shiva and don't use it?
That's what it looks like. I mean, maybe they're going to prefer it on defense a little more. That makes sense, right?
Maybe, yeah. I guess that would make a little bit more sense, but very interesting to waste. I don't want to say waste a vote. We haven't seen what's come up with it yet. But
no, this is scary because
yeah.
they have a second player in the back I'm highlighting. That's going to be Saints. So if they decide to push here, they've got 2 players to deal with. Spacely going to be the first one in. I thought it was going to get to Saints. I thought the first kill would certainly get. I thought Spacely was dead to rights, and it was gonna ultimately be Saints saving the day. But Spacely, sorry, buddy, I switched off you. And you pick up both kills. That's the first corner you check when you go in. I didn't think there was any way he was coming out with both those.
And the bomb is down inside bunker. That is probably the worst position to drop the bomb.
Well, Legal, I don't even know how he got to this position. I mean, he's not going to be able to do much. He might be able to get a kill or two. Now someone's turn to check him out. So Legal in a bad spot. I don't think he realized there's a 4 stack inside a bunker on the bomb right now.
No, he has absolutely no idea. Legal just taking a ton of time here. This is one of the odder rounds in S&D that we've had.
That really
was
strange,
4 players on the defensive side stacked up inside bunker, and you have the offensive player wait until the last 10 seconds to make a play.
It's like these are the Mines of Moria, and they're trying to hold their ground here.
Even if he got over there, what was he going to do? He wasn't going to kill everybody within 10 seconds. It's not like Neo in the Matrix where he's just going to walk in and just dodge bullets and just...
Tell you what, that's the next specialist I want. If you're watching, I'm talking to you, Matt TK. I'm talking to you, David Vonderhaar. I would like to be able to morph into Neo, and potentially, I guess that's sort of what kinetic armor is. But I'd like
a little bit.
Okay, I need kinetic armor with a lot more flexibility.
Yeah.
So basically, a kinetic armor gymnast. That's a
Gumby version of kinetic armor.
Now that I realize that's what Neo is, he's not as impressive.
Yeah, no, nearly not as impressive.
Yeah, gosh darn kinetic armor gymnast.
But let's see if anyone on H2K. So no Shiva yet again on the side of H2K. So I'm very interested to see.
Tries to back John. John has decided.
Very nice.
Well, I'm taking that grenade to the face. I might as well try to get some shots in because he had no interest in moving there. They're able to get the break. They're starting to push forward. Bomb should probably get planted in the second here. Yeah, Spacely is going to be getting this down. Now, how do you plan to retake? Because Replays is already going to be set back. He's going to be rotating back to half wall ultimately once he can get set up, trying to worry about clearing players out. Legal trying to come forward. He's going to lose that gunfight. Lacefield is going to be by himself. He's going to be able to win one, but he's in a 1v2, and the problem is going to be his player all the way in the back. Replays has perfect vision. Here, I'm going to show you guys, maybe if you're new to watching this, he has perfect vision up here on the bomb, and he's very, very difficult to kill. Lacefield doesn't have a lot of time to work with. Look how spread out they are right now. Both players in a position to make a play on the bomb.
And even if he kills Replays over here, which he's going to do over on half wall, should be almost impossible unless we see a really poor challenge by Saints.
Yeah, you need to see a poor peek from Saints, basically, which time winding down, gets the kill. Can he get it? No. God, he needed about half a second more, and Lacefield wants to let Saints know that, I mean, honestly, Saints, you played that properly. Yeah. You checked with just enough time.
I respect you.
Yeah, that was friendly. You know, also, if you're new to the game, that is, in Call of Duty, we call that friendly hugging.
Yes.
That was just a couple of friends. No, he wanted to let him know he hated what he just did.
Yeah. I am jealous that you have won this round.
And no, that was perfect. I mean, if he peeked out about half a second quicker, that might have been bad. Yeah. I might have given him enough time there, but the 7.5 second defuse didn't have enough time to make a play.
And it's really been 2 guys for Luminosity here at the outset, Spacely and John.
Well, and they have all their kills.
Yes. And I think Spacely, I was just going to say he has the HCXD, so let's see how he likes to use it.
And it might be a perfect flank if he has time to get there. I don't think he does because they're all in mansion. I'm going to have to switch over because they're all flying in right now. If one gets traded out, are they able to pick it up? They do. They trade that kill effectively. They're able to get a second. Fizzerp and crew has him, and that's the flank I was talking about. Eventually, that car is going to make it in, but unfortunately, Fear's going to eat that one. Now, did he have? Yeah, flak jackets.
Has flak jacket. So flak jacket ends up saving him there. And look at this, Lacefield on a 5 streak. So picks up those 2 kills at the end of the round. You say, oh, those are kind of pointless. Can't defuse the bomb. But now working towards even more shrieks than I had jinxed him completely. He gets taken out by replays. And
Thanks a lot, Matt. H2K just wants a damn win.
With the assault rifle, and now it puts Fizzerp in fears in a tough predicament, whether to plant the bomb down at A or try and rotate this one around the back through B. And Luminosity gonna play to protect that B site. Obviously, we saw how well it worked out for them when they got the bomb down at B. Now you're gonna see bomb being planted over at A. Replays in Spacely, trying to figure out the best approach to attack into Mansion.
Yeah, just trying to get a kill, try to find a player, maybe being sloppy right now, but they've got to make a play. They don't have a ton of time to work with. Is there someone that they're trying to save for streaks or something? Because they haven't really got forward. Did he see that player? It's hard to tell.
100%.
I think he saw him. Replays, gets the call. They're able to push him. He's in the corner far. He's pushing him, and that is the kill. They've got plenty of time. Replays is already on it. Excellent execution and a 2v2 retake from Replays and Spacely. Excellent job, boys. And you get the win. 3-0. H2K just falling apart.
We see time and time again teams that will just like rush in that scenario and just kind of push in and not take their time. Just great use of the entire time on the clock there by Luminosity.
Yeah, I felt like they were playing a little bit slow, but
no,
you know,
they had a ton of time. Yeah, they found the opening.
They were mid-map. You try to see, you're playing for vision. Can you find one player? Can you narrow down where somebody is? And as soon as they saw that player cross there,
kill that first player and then try and get the other one to just kind of force his hand and come out. And just fantastic play here early by the guys on Luminosity.
Round 4 here, best of 11, first to 6. Looking very, very good for Luminosity right now. Is anyone going to mix things up is the question. There's nothing H2K has been able to deal with the pressure thus far given by Luminosity. We see Lacefield's going to opt to use his HC now. Can he pick up a kill is the question. He's going to chuck the front. Did he see one there? He may have. It's hard to tell sometimes if he actually got vision on that particular player. But I like this spot, just waiting here right around the corner. And he's going to go ahead, opt the fly. He starts to get forward. He's going vertical. I like his driving skills right now. Ultimately, he's going to be taken out. No, he's able to get in, and that is why you use Flak Jacket.
I mean, I think we've been seeing Flak Jacket put in a good use here, Maeve. How many times do we say, you know, Flak Jacket, oh,
Flak Jacket is solely used.
And they it's solely of like
solely for
lives.
HC cars, man.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, grenades aren't even close to the factor that HCs are in this particular game type, or really any game type it sort of seemed like, but that's going to be 3 down. H2K primed to get their first round on the board. Saints is going to get shot in the back here as he tries to push through lower mansion, and that is going to be a round victory for H2K. Can they turn this into more? They've got to get 5 wins here. Backs up against the wall again. I think this is kind of a must-win in this particular matchup. If they go down 2-0 to Luminosity, things not looking strong at all.
They need a win. Just in the worst way possible, and you're H2K, just like in any shape or form, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you'll take anything at this point. Fizzerp 0-3. Let's go on board with him. See what's going wrong with him here early.
Well, let's leave it here. He switched classes at the last second. I think I didn't see exactly what changed. He's going to have danger close and a trophy now. Interesting. Playing slow towards mansion is going to be Lacefield.
Can they not try and do this again?
What you find Spacely is laying prone in the corner. They have 2 there, but this time it's Replays and Spacely instead of Saints like last time. They've gotten up and they've got control to a degree of the B site. They saw one. He opts to go for the plant. Now who's going to be able to cover him here? It's going to be Fierce. He's got a big position to go, and he just gets baited so hard there. Flies through. Saints falls, or sorry, Fizzerp falls as well. They've been able to retake the site. They should.
Like, all right, we got this one kill over by Bunker though.
Just stick this. I mean, you're looking good. You need to pick up. You need to pick up 1 here. Yeah, there it is. Closed out.
It's a relatively easy round,
and that was just, I mean, Fears was in a position where he had to deal with any pressure. He's looking over Fizzerp, right? It's so difficult when that first player flies out not to go with him. He goes with it. Second player is going to pick him off, and then Fizzerp's dead to rights. I mean, you just finished planting the bomb. There's 2 players directly in front of you. Nothing you can even do. I don't even know how you deal with that unless you have maybe tacticals to back them up, which I believe were banned. What can you do in that spot to really deal with 2 players just flying at you? I mean,
it's nothing.
That's
nothing.
Tough.
I mean, you put yourself in such a difficult situation. Well, you're looking at that corner, right? And as soon as that first player starts flying, your aim starts going towards him. As soon as you see the second player, you have no chance of killing that guy. So if Replays didn't kill both players, I think the second person flying in would have got both as well.
Absolutely. Could not agree more. Now, what can they do? The pressure, they're flying up mid. They're already going to push through 2. John rotates back, though. He's able to grab one, grab two, grab a oh, God, I thought it was a third, but he's not able to pick it up. Thankfully, Replays probably put one bullet into Lace Shield. I mean, he had to put one bullet into Lace Shield.
I gotta see this.
He has to be so weak.
Pew. There you go.
Okay, a couple bullets.
A couple.
I thought he had to have been pretty darn tagged up there by the shots we saw coming in from John. John rotating back and able to pick up two after what looked like a nice aggressive push from H2K. They need one more round on the board here. I'm going to watch the defensive round from Luminosity's point of view as they're looking to close this one out. And look how close he is to a dart. Replays has an HC, he has a dart, and is he going to get somewhere safe to try and use this? And they've been playing a lot different than other teams. They've kind of had like a 2-2 stack, sort of. I mean, I know you can rotate to either side very, very, very quickly, but a lot of teams we see have three inside of Mansion.
And now, as soon as Replays gets over by Bunker with that car, kind of can see if anyone's watching that flank, I believe the car actually gets blown up. You're going to have to basically follow it up with Kinetic. So Luminosity
they
really
hear
going.
Kinetic, and they're running.
Really?
Let it burn up. Let it go away.
No.
He's eventually able to chase one down, but that was amazing. They heard that Kinetic armor. They wanted nothing to do with that fight. One more here, make it two more here. He can't find him. He lost him in midair. He was able to get one, though. The damage has been done. 3-2 advantage for Luminosity, a 5 streak for Replays. They're looking to close this out. Does he use his vision pulse here? They just want to take this round. It's Fizzard by himself. They're hunting the last man. He's been caught out. He's heat waved as well. 6-1. Luminosity up 2-0 in the series, looking to close out our final match of Week 5 before the boys head to UMG, South Carolina.
Not really much to talk about there in that one, Maeve. The H2K, a team that we said really good at S&D at the beginning of the stage, not looking very good at all right now.
You have two teams just headed in opposite directions.
If you watch this H2K team play like the first 2 weeks, and then you watch them play now, it looks like completely different teams.
It does. And again, not sure what the issue is, and I hate to harp on it, but it's just evident in the gameplay right now. They're struggling. They need a win. And LG, they've been rising. They have several games straight. They're looking to close this one out 3-0.
And LG is a team that. No, CLG makes the team change, what, like 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago at this point now. It's like, after that change, like, you probably would have said, okay, LG is like the next one to make a move. Like, these are the guys who are struggling.
Absolutely. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, I was worried about Replays for a little bit. I was like, is he maybe the guy that gets targeted if they decide to make a change? But now that you're winning.
Now they've turned things around.
Winning solves everything.
Yeah.
Now if they make a team change tomorrow, I'm sorry.
Don't think you would see that, but
my bad.
We'll take a look at the scoreboard here at the end of this game.
I want to take a look at the standings too. I mean, we can wait till this final game so we can take a look at the full standings, but we're getting very, very close to that halfway point in stage 1 where, everyone's about played each other once, I think.
But I feel like when we take a look at that standings, that the middle of the pack is going to be so condensed.
It's a circus in the middle.
It's crazy.
But yeah, scoreboard. Let's take a look. Replays 7-2, coming up big. He ended on a 5 or 6 streak, I believe, and it was sort of a two-man army. Look, you have combined 2-11 coming out of Fizzurp and Legal. We talked about Fizzurp needing to step it up in S&D, and unfortunately, that's kind of the opposite impact that you got. Yeah.
I mean, Lacefield goes 9-5, nothing. I mean, Fear's 5-6, but nothing really out of Fizzurp and Legal. Both those guys, what they combine to go 2-11, so really struggling in that one. Next game going to be Infection Up, not Infection Uplink. We did Infection Uplink yesterday. It's going to be Fringe Uplink.
That's all right. That's all right.
It happens. It happens. Do we see them try and play for the Shiva and play again? This time I'd like to see them use it.
Yeah, that was kind of. I like those plays sometimes where you just use it as a threat, but I mean, ultimately, I don't think it had that much of an impact. That's for sure. What can they do in this particular map, Fringe, to mix things up? I actually think they may use the Shiva. I mean, what do they have? I would consider going back to their roots. I mean, not their roots, but remember that flak jacket ban and Hardpoint, how effective it was. Like, remember, dude, think back.
Yeah, we did.
The last uplink we saw.
This is uplink.
The last uplink we saw, grenades were a huge factor.
Okay.
They were a ton. They were a huge factor. Players don't usually run flak, but trying to think what they could do. I mean, the grenades we saw, they were big in the past couple series. Were really the NB series. What can you do as your H2K's coach right now? So, I'm Matthew Morello, Mr. X. I was just paid a $75,000 transfer fee from Activision, ESL, and the Call of Duty World League to work primarily as the coach of the H2K team. You are in head of operations for their roster, strategy, everything, Matt. The ball is in your court. What do you tell the players? They're looking at you. Just they're lost little children. They have no idea what the answers are. They need the answers from you. You're Phil Jackson. You're their Phil Jackson. What do you say?
I'd probably like to see them use the Shiva. But they got to protect stock.
That wasn't helpful at all.
It's going to be kind of useless if they don't have stock.
You've already been transferred back. You've been fired. You're casting again.
No, well.
Shiva, all right, I get it. Let's see if they'll use it. I don't know. I mean, I asked you that question because I have no idea. I don't know what they can do at this point. Just they seem outmatched by this is kind of a series. When you're talking about teams like CLG, H2K that have been struggling, these are series where they need to win. CLG won a series they needed to win today.
Yes.
This is a series H2K needed to win. Well, you know, you talked about the Shiva, coach, you came in big, but replay said, I overheard your coaching strategy. This is probably some Patriots type level action.
They probably have
they're tied into our mic lines.
Right, obviously I would know what to do as a coach. The other team probably knows what to do on the other side. So they're going to protect stock. So they ban stock, then they protect it when they realize it's like, well,
that plan backfired in game 1, right?
Maybe we do need stock. Anyway, they're gonna have stock in this game. We'll see how that affects their AR players. Rapid fire, high caliber. See you later. Those two rarely make it in. What do Fizzerp and Saints like to do? I think overdrive, overclock, 2 that we see go pretty soon. There goes overdrive. Active camo goes, so camo is going to be gone.
Kinetic will likely go.
You think? Kinetic goes, you don't see stuns or flash.
Both tacticals
stuns or flashes stay in, so that I think would be a little bit of a win for H2K.
No, both tacticals are going. Yep. It was either both tacticals or kinetic and something. I mean, I gotta think the last one's concussion. Unless you're H2K and you think that's our chance to really slow things up, you go ahead and nope, they don't want concussions either. So that's gonna be both tacticals gone. Shiva's out. I mean, this is pretty standard gameplay. You gotta think it favors Luminosity. I don't think anything really changed other than the stock protect now. So this will be the first game we have with stock. You know that can certainly affect the player if they're used to playing with it, whether it's with an AR, if you're using by chance stock on a sub. Not having it and then playing with it can be a little bit of a shocker, but I don't think it makes much of a difference other than maybe the opening seconds. They'll react pretty quickly.
Yeah. So you're going to see Fears go with an Annihilator. Heatwave out of Legal, Heatwave out of John, Scythe on replays. Do we see a 2-gun setup from the side of LG? You're going to see a Scythe now from Fizzer. Kinetic armor in the hands of Saints. So now with the camo and overdrive gone, what do we see come out here at the end for Luminosity? You're going to see the Annihilator out of Spacely. So no Tempest today.
No Tempest at all, which we saw a good bit yesterday. But that could have been the recent buff to it. Players kind of messed around with it a little bit. They may be talking, not behind closed doors, but these guys are always playing each other, always talking on Skype or whatever. May have decided that they're not a huge fan still after the buff. I don't know, but it was kind of shocking to see it used quite a bit yesterday.
We saw some good things with it yesterday. It wasn't like we didn't see.
I agree, but we haven't seen it all today.
Kills with it, yeah, quite odd. I wonder if they saw it on the secondary stream at all. We'll have to ask them.
Probably, and it could be our matchups entirely.
Yeah, it
really could, because we've had a lot of great ones today. I feel like we haven't had like that many crazy matches. Like, there've been really good series, but not that many like crazy back and forth matches. I mean, what's our closest game today? The hard points have all been blowouts for the most part.
We
saw like 10 round S&Ds.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's been an odd day. Like, don't get me wrong, I've had a blast. It's so much fun to cast this game and these teams, but there haven't been like that many nail-biting games today. Like yesterday, you had like 5-game series, just ridiculous games all night. It's been 3-0, 3-1, 3-1.
Let's talk a little bit about yesterday, actually. While you bring that up, looking back on it, where teams kind of, well, I guess we can just kind of isolate them. We're like Optic and FaZe. Were they like looking more towards their match today against each other than like their opponents yesterday and just kind of like overlooked them, and that's why you can say like a lost game?
I mean, that might be part of it. I think it's more just at times them overlooking their opponents than it is looking forward to anything. It's just that happens when you're a top team.
Yeah.
When you're not used to losing and you're playing a team that's maybe struggling, you're like, oh, we got this in the bag. You play down to your competition at times.
You don't get on and warm up as early.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah, that's certainly part of it. Or you catch a team that's just hot, That's as big in any actual sport. That's what's scary when you come around to playoff time in the NBA, or get close to March Madness or something. That team that's hot right before the tournament starts. Yeah. Sometimes you just have that team. They're playing hot that particular week. They come in. They're really, really tough to beat.
Could not agree more. It's going to be Fringe Uplink loading up now. H2K need a win here to extend the series. Luminosity with a chance to close it out in 3 swift games. Tell you what, it'd be a great win for them going in a UMG
this
weekend.
This would be a great day for the Well, I want to say kind of a great day, great week for the underdogs. When you talk about, you know, CLG getting some big wins, LG getting some big wins, a lot of these teams just having pretty good weeks. We've seen a lot of upsets. I mean, not everyone, obviously, but definitely a good week if you're rooting for some of the guys that have been kind of struggling in the rankings.
Oh, without a doubt. No, Luminosity, after getting a big win yesterday versus Dream Team, would love to put together a 2-0 week, and we'll jump right into the game. We'll start things off with John. Him and Saints can be two very formidable slayers for this team, and these guys start to heat up. They can definitely contend with the top.
Well, Spacey gets to go with a grenade. It's going to be John grabbing another. Saints picks one off. And just like that, I thought it was going to be pretty early control here for LG, and they might be able to get forward here, but nothing too crazy. But look at how pinned they are at the top corner here. Everyone really in the same spot, and now it's going to be Drone starting to move forward. They're trying to get a toss over the top, and they are going to get 1 point through. And that was just, you know, they spawned in a bunch there, kind of by, what is it, Globe. And they're all in a bad spot to try and make a play, and it's going to be 1 point going through. A nice toss coming in here as they're able to get on the board.
And you're going to see Luminosity running 2 subs, 2 ARs, and then you're going to have a 3-in-1 set up out of the side of H2K. You're going to have the drone being pushed up towards the H2K
he hit another
base.
One over the top?
Almost hit that. Yeah. Another one over the top, but it's going to be legal. Picking up the drone in the back of the H2K spawn. He's going to be bringing this one down tracks. You're going to see an HC car coming out of the lace field here. He's going to fly.
Well, I thought he was going to smash his
blew up a
teammate.
teammate. Going to go over the other wall now. Not able to take anybody out. Look at the drone carrier. Just
I think
trying
everyone's
to figure out a route
attacking their
to go.
teammates
Yeah,
right
where
now.
are they going? Turn around. You have control of the base.
You call this the old H2K oop to you.
All right. Well, they're able to put in a 1 point play. That was one of the hardest 1 point conversions you will ever see. The teammates shooting at each other, players looking opposite directions. But it's illegal. And Frizz are doing a nice job controlling the Luminosity base. Potential to put more points on the board. Lacio barely gets taken down in top bar, and fantastic shots there by Spacely. Legal still alive though.
If he got through, that was points on the board. You see him trying to connect with the MR6. He's ultimately going to drop. Fizzerp had a rough game too. He started out pretty well here. 8 and 4. He's getting tagged from tracks. There's a player in barn trying to push forward as best they can. The drone comes off spawn. The player coming in from the back is going to be legal. He's set up to push forward. He has heat wave locked and loaded. They've got complete control of the base. This should be a toss forward. I'm thinking maybe to Lacefield. Yep, there's the toss. Nice alley-oop. That was awesome to watch. And he pops the kinetic there. They've got control. And that's just evaporated. I thought a headshot might have come in, but his kinetic armor just disappeared.
Well, he was already weak going into that, so
it's true.
He picks up that second kill, though. He ends up with a lightning, so don't hate the idea to use kinetic in that situation. Try and obviously get the score, and then also build upon with more streaks.
Nice shots there. Lacefield grabbing 2. They're trying to get forward. You can see the drone kind of getting passed back and forth in the middle. They're going over the top yet again. Can they sink this one? That's a nice shot coming through, but H2K has the 3-2 advantage off the alley-oop you saw a little bit earlier. Saints trying to push down tracks. He's going to be taken out. Who's going to be there ready for control at the drone spawn? It looks like it's going to be Lacefield kind of bumping into a teammate as they're trying to both control L-wall. Fizzerp's going to take over this spot here with the M8. 8 and 7 right now, but it's the Lacefield party. Let's go back to him. I'm sorry, Lacefield.
You jinxed it. You're going to see John pick up 2.
It's the second time I think Lacefield's been jinxed. Poor guy.
Now Fierce turns from Z. He's going to put down some shaky shots there. You see Spacely come through with the Annihilator. A chance for LG to pick up some points. You see Saints. How beautiful of a play is that? Maven throws down the drone, pops his kinetic, picks up the kill, then gets out into Grandma, still alive. 450 off of the lightning.
Yeah, sorry,
still
I switched
far
between like 4
away,
players there because I tried to get to the guy with the Annihilator. I tried to get to the guy with the drone. Then he grabbed the drone. It was all over the place.
So you just showed us nothing.
Hey, you saw the kill with the kinetic and you saw the score, baby. That's all that matters. Now replays. Thought he was maybe going to try and bank it off of that back silo, but not able to get it done. That's going to fall drone into the back of the H2K base. Do they opt to wrap out? They decide to reset. It looks like they want a 4-man party down tracks. You see Legal clearing the way up front. The spawn coming in basically right at the uplink here for Luminosity. Can they get forward? Do they have an opportunity for a 1 point throw? I think they need to pick up 1 or 2 more kills, but he just goes for it, decides to toss it, and is able to bury it. Nice long-range shot there coming in from H2K.
But now they can't let Luminosity go on this kind of fast break play. You see John picked up 2, Saints 1 in the kill feed. You see they're starting to push up tracks. They're going to get control of that drone. They're going to throw it into the H2K base. Now there's 1 player already in there. It's going to be replays.
Thank God,
and actually
Fizzerp rotated back.
Yes.
Because that was a dunk.
Pretty fortunate there. That was going to be a dunk.
I like the toss forward to the player pushing through 10. Nice job there. Look at the HC cars like chasing someone on the minimap. You saw it for a second. Not able to get forward, put up points. Each one had one out for either side. Can H2K take a lead here in the final seconds of the first side? It's going to be a melee coming in for Fizzerp. He's able to get one. Trying to push out the back. There's a player there. He's going to drop. Legal, the only one up. He's nowhere close to scoring. Can Replays potentially get a one-point toss? Not if Legal has anything to say about it. Feeding Legal some kills here, and he's got a little bit closer to, I think he's like 200 off his HC car. Nothing really to talk about, but close match so far, 4-4.
Well, we have seen a lot of points being put up from the side H2K was on in the first half, and they only end up drawing this one out 4-4.
So you're favoring, you think it's looking good for Luminosity?
I would think that's a pretty favorable thing for Luminosity going into the second half.
All right, well, let's hop on with Luminosity here as we start the second side. Let's go with John leading the way. Take a look at his class for you guys at home. He's rocking Afterburner, Fast Hands, and Blast Suppressor. He's got an RK5 with the M8. That's a kind of your standard class, right? If you're an AR player. Replays and Saints picking up kills right off the bat, and I think I saw a Scythe for Replay, so let's watch him right now. They're starting to get forward. This is terrifying for H2K. You're going to get pounded basically off the break. I'm going to go to Spacely because he's your man with the drone. He's got John blocking out front, leading the way. Replay, Saints, John all coming in on the kill feed as well. This is an easy two-point dunk, and take a look at the map. They've got them spawning back alley.
Yeah, once you start spawning them back alley, we saw what happened in Phase Optic. If you don't go together and either go all the way on the overextension or fight this area over bricks.
Oh, you line up for Saints.
You can't do that.
Saints, I thought he was going to grab the drone, but nice awareness there as he's going to go back and try to pick one off of Grandma's.
Yeah, so Fears goes big, winning 2 big gunfights over by Grandma.
That's slowed the bleeding, right?
Yeah, he's going to pop out and definitely has slowed the bleeding. Now the players need to just rotate back over towards that drone mid-map, and actually somebody comes straight through bricks and they're able to get the drone. Tries to go with a pass, doesn't connect with it. Now we see a pass go into John. John's going to drop inside barn, and the drone back in hands of H2K.
Did they toss it back and forth on accident there?
I don't know.
I thought I saw the pass go forward. I couldn't tell if he played a little ping pong with himself there and bounced it off the barn wall and it came back to him, or what exactly happened. But ultimately, it's not going to lead in if that card is flying forward. It's just soaring at these guys. They're terrified.
These players weak, and then they're able to just ride in there.
This is scary. I'm going to hop over to the H2K side. Look at the minimap. They're going to be rotating over the tracks, trying to slow
Not a
this
gunfight
down.
you want to take with a VMP.
Replays, though, is going to have drone in hands. Oh, the slide, the melee. He whipped it. He might have hit a knee. Nice one-point toss.
He only hit him in the knee. He only hit him in the knee.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, busted his knee up there.
Oh, nice Annihilator shot right there by Spacely.
Spacely connecting with one. He's got another player in barn trying to connect, but he will lose to the MR6. That's a tough loss. You have like the golden gun going up against the MR6, and you lose that gunfight. That's a difficult one for sure. The drone gonna fall into the back of the base here for H2K. They're basically gonna, I think, opt to reset that, but they're trailing by 3 right now. There's still a ton of time though. You have basically half of this second side left right now. And there comes the toss out. They're going to get it off the map. And Replays, though, he's in a position here to potentially do some damage.
Yeah, I don't think they had any ideas there. Fizzerp's actually probably just shooting somebody cross map and just, don't want to say gets lucky, so to speak, but the fact that Replays just kind of jumps into his shots, definitely helping Fizzerp there. And we'll take a look at the scoreboard here. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game. Just taking a look at some of the stats. You got Saints and John, 2 Slayers we talked about, 4 LG having pretty good games. And then on the side of H2K, you got Lacefield 23 and 16. Nobody else really doing much of anything in the kills department. Now Legal's actually plus.
I think Fizzerp was 8 and 3 to start or something too.
Yeah, Legal's 19 and 14. I take that back. Legal having a pretty good
I swear Fizzerp was like 8 and 3. So since then he's gone 6 and 18.
I don't believe that's possible.
I don't know. I could have made it up. I make lots of stats up.
Oh, and that heat wave just came in
I was just trying to find somebody not affected by that, but everyone getting hit. The kinetic armor coming in, not able to trade it out, though, and that's going to be everybody basically dropping. Now, they're going to opt just to push this right down tracks. Let me try and get to the carrier. It's going to be Spacely. Nice movement here, trying to work his way up. Wants to get gun up. He has one flying in front of him, wins that, but there's another one, unfortunately, for him in behind. Everyone dropping. That's 3 down for Luminosity, but he had 2 down for H2K as well. Apologize. There's a little bit of a hiccup here and there. Might be our connection on this end, but the gameplay continues. 1:20 left. Can Luminosity close this one out? They H2K's got a chance here. You got to try and get a dunk on the board, right? He's going to fly in. He wants to get it through. Can he get? Oh, he does get it.
Barely makes it in.
I didn't think he had enough juice there to fire it through. Who was that? Lacefield. I mean, he had to have had Afterburner, right?
And H2K has control of the base. It's Fear's actually still back there. He's locking it down with the AR. He's got to win 2 more gunfights. He's going to lose one. The drone in Fizzerp's hands. He goes with a 2-point play. Saint not able to throw it out. It goes back to Lacefield, and Lacefield puts it in. It's going to be H2K up by 1. 40 seconds left, maybe. Can they hold on?
There's a player that's got the whole way into the back of the base here, and I don't think they have any idea. Can they get a toss forward to Replays is the question. Replays is actually coming on the side of Barn. He's able to get one. That's Fizzerp, though, mid with the the Scythe coming forward, and that's going to put so much pressure on them. They're able to push this one out to 10-7, and that's going to be a kinetic coming in from Lacefield. Lacefield have a monster game at 29 and 19, and I think I saw him with full streaks potentially as well behind that one. Now the train all of a sudden just opened up. Luminosity falling apart. H2K just pummeling them now. They were trailing by, what were they trailing by 3? And now up by 4 in the last like 90 seconds or so, it feels like.
Unbelievable. H2K stays alive.
Wow,
Staying
H2K.
alive.
All right, H2K. I've seen you come back from down 2-0. You did it to CLG. Can you do it here is the question. Fears and crew going off, able to push this one out to a game 4. And that, I'll be honest, if you lose this series now, I mean, Luminosity, you're kicking yourselves, because that series I thought was all but over. I thought it was done.
I didn't see that happening, to be quite honest with you.
I did not either.
I thought Luminosity would have closed it out there, but it's H2K taking game number 3, going into Breach CTF. It's a game mode we've seen H2K win before.
Yeah.
Can they force a game 5?
They're giving themselves a chance here. That's for sure. Can they take this one, though? I don't know. I mean, H2K, I would love to see them push this. I want them to get a win as well as Luminosity has been playing. You know, again, H2K needs this darn win. The CTF, though, who are you looking for? Give me a player kind of from either side you're looking to step up really big for the roster.
On the side of which team?
Both. One from each.
I think you want to see Fierce play really well. If you are H2K, you want to see your main AR lock things down in CTF. Okay. And then on the side of Luminosity, I really want to see Replays. Got to play better. I mean, we'll take a look at the stats. Don't believe he actually finishes this uplink game very well.
Let's take a look now. We're going to load up the score board. Lacefield, you know, you saw him from beginning to end, really applying pressure. He had 4 dunks,
a throw,
1 toss,
and
so
30 kills, pretty much.
He had 9 of their 11 points. That's, you know, when you talk about like in the NBA, like a triple-double or something.
Yeah,
that's basically a triple-double.
Essentially.
That's a massive performance. He has most kills, least deaths, most dunks, ties most throws. I mean, he basically goes all white across the board.
Yeah, and then on the side of LG, you knew you were going to have a good game from Saints. He rarely plays bad. It just needed replays a little bit more in the slaying department. He got himself into good positions, just wasn't able to come up with those big kills. Certainly was not. Now, again, you saw replays have a big S&D, struggle a little bit in game 3. We'll see if he can answer back in game 4. And what I really saw, what a big difference maker was for me, the fact that Overclock snuck into this game, and how big of a deal kinetic armor was specifically for the side of H2K. Yes.
How many big plays did we see on offense and defense with kinetic?
Lacefield picked up, a few.
Half of his kills came from kinetic. It felt like so many 2 to 3 pieces, right? It was unbelievable.
Yeah, no, just trying to get the next lobby all sorted up here, and it's going to be Breach CTF. I think this one. If you are LG, do you try and get rid of kinetic? Do you get rid of overclock?
I was sorry, I was taking a look. I thought he got full streaks. I wasn't sure, so he did get full streaks at the end. And that I was trying to pay attention to the time, but I was looking at multiple things there. I wanted to see like how quickly that fell apart for Luminosity, because it final 90 seconds or so, right? A minute
and a half,
and you had like a 7-point swing or something like that. Like,
yeah, it's kind of crazy.
They had 4 through,
especially
9 minutes
from the side that we haven't seen a lot of success on today.
Well, any side, I feel like an uplink, any side, if you get a trap set up, if you get control of the base, you get them spawning out, and you have a couple abilities to work with, you really can rally forward. And that was just, I'd like to go back. I need to see kind of how Luminosity dealt with the pressure from that side as far as overextending, rotating back, what went wrong. Because usually if your team makes the right choices, you can give up 1 dunk and kind of heal after that. But that was just, I mean, all hell broke loose for Luminosity.
That's a tough one. I mean, for a team that we've said Luminosity is starting to play much better. They've been on a win streak. You have a opportunity to put away a lesser opponent.
When you're up in game 3, you need to close the game out.
Yes, in game 3, you're up 2-0 in the maps. You're able to, with what, a minute?
That's the difference between champions and not champions, man. Just being able to win those games when you have the lead, just close out, no letdowns.
No, you need to put those teams, especially against a team like H2K, who you know is struggling. You can't give them
put them out of the misery.
Signs of life. Yeah, just put them out of your misery, exactly.
But that's not going to be the case. So you kind of breathe new life now into H2K. Yeah. They feel like they have a chance in this series now. When again, a minute left, they were done. I kind of feel like H2K's got a little bit of. I mean, did it swing in their favor at all by getting that win? Are you still favoring Luminosity here? I know they have the 2-1 advantage, but a come from behind win in the final 60 seconds like that. If H2K gets the first cap on the board in CTF,
a game 5?
I'm feeling like we could. We could certainly. It'd be early in game 5 today. I mean, this has been. This has been I'm pretty sure it was 3-0, 3-1, 3-1. Now, maybe 3-1. Maybe this will go to 5 games. It's been a pretty quick day here for a lot of these matches.
Shiva, see you later. Now you're going to see the stock protect yet again. So after banning the stock and losing, H2K has now realized that, hey, we might as well keep the stock. We're actually a little bit better with it. See high caliber, that's going to go as well. See what else goes here. It's going to be rapid fire. Going to be taken out of this one. We see that almost every game. Overdrive going to go as well. Now, what other abilities do we think go in a CTF? I think Kinetic has been so powerful. Maybe we see Kinetic go, but actually it's going to be Camo, the other ability that's going to be targeted here early. I think maybe Overclock, Heatwave as well. So they have targeted pretty much every ability that we have seen not make a huge difference. We have seen Kinetic make the biggest difference so far with the abilities in this one. And it seems to be the only one not going to go here early.
Yeah, certainly is. What do you see? So all tacticals are in, all grenades are in. Okay, well, one. I don't know what the point of that is. I mean, you're still going to have concussion, or sorry, you're still going to have flashbangs. So getting rid of one concussion, I always find a little bit odd, just because it doesn't
really do much.
Yeah, it doesn't change things a whole lot.
What do you see out of the specialist draft now? You're going to see a Kinetic.
Well, absolutely Kinetic.
Vision Pulse, then weapons. Do you even see a Vision Pulse on both?
Do you have 2 weapons here?
Do you even see a Vision Pulse on both sides? So you're going to see a Scythe on the side of...
You have to have 2 weapons now.
LG. It would make no sense. I mean, I wouldn't even hate the idea of having 3.
Yeah, well, Heatwave gone. What do you have? 2... Still 1 weapon for either side. Fizzerb is probably going to go Scythe, right?
You would think so. So you're going to see a Vision Pulse out of the side of LG.
Fizzerb should be Scythe.
And I think you'll see Annihilator. Yep. Annihilator. Do we see Scythe? Yep. So 2 and 2.
Certainly makes sense, especially with Heatwave going, which has been kind of a staple of every game mode. It feels like one of the more popular ones for sure. You see that get banned. They'll go with 2 and 2, which we see a 2-2 split regardless sometimes of kind of the ban protect. But for this one, game 4, you need replays to step it up for LG to close out. On the other side, you need. I mean, you've had big game at Illegal in game 1. You've had a big game at Lacefield here to take that respawn.
I tell you what, if Lacefield's been playing really well in the series, if Lacefield doesn't have a good game here, they lose.
They need someone to go big. Again, I feel like we were always talking Fears. Legal. Like those 2 guys, that duo, they were going big for them early on.
I felt Lacefield was really good at like being that intro killer guy that was like attacking
but not leading the way in slaying really for the team. I don't think he was too much early, was he? I feel like it was always Fears, man. Fears
really.
top
It was
of
really
the
Fears,
leaderboard.
yeah. Fears doing a really nice job.
And that's I want to say not been as existent. I mean, he's had some big games for sure, but not as consistent, I suppose, as he was to start.
I mean, he's definitely had some good games. Like, he's had pretty good hard points and stuff. But obviously, if the rest of your team's not playing well and you're the AR and you're just kind of standing there as last line defense,
that's true.
There's 2 or 3 players pushing you.
I'm sure there's a lot of issues.
More that goes into it.
When you lose 6 straight, it's not typically
it's
one
a lot more
thing.
than just not getting those kills.
Hey, this one player has been shooting poorly. That's why we're losing all our games. It's usually a combination of things that culminates to sort of cause that. But let's give you a map fly-through. It's going to be Breach, Capture the Flag. One of my favorite maps for CTF. Certainly, I think the layout of this one kind of makes it a little more fast-paced than some of the maps, comparing to something like Stronghold.
Yeah, I was just going to say Stronghold, probably the slowest of the CTF maps.
Yeah, this one, I mean, don't get me wrong, we've seen this one slow down dramatically, but typically early on, you're going to see either team kind of trying to feel each other out to a degree. Now, who's going to be kind of that sneaky player for either team that's really going to get up close, try to get pulls?
somebody like Spacely.
Spacely, I remember Spacely, man, and Blitz back in Ghost. He had like 16 scores in one game one time. Like he was crazy, man. Sneaky guy.
Then on the side for H2K, you're looking at guys like Lacefield and Legal. Guys really going to be pushing the outside of the maps, trying to get towards the other team's flag, get those sneak pulls.
All right, waiting on our players to load up here, and we're going to be ready to hop into game 4. Who's going to take this one? Luminosity, H2K. H2K fans, if you're watching, they need you. Your prayers, your tweets, your thoughts. These guys desperately need a win. They want to push a game 5 here. LG, you don't need a lot. You've been playing very, very well lately. Just need to pull it together and have that closeout win. This is your opportunity. I'm going to start off this game. Actually, I'm going to go. Let's go with Lacefield. Let's kick it off. He had a really, really strong game. I want to see what impact
he's had really strong respawns.
Let's take a look at the
general.
break. So we kind of have.
Who's the player going down towards Palace?
That's Fears highlighted at the top
So
left.
you would think this is a guy who's going to be going on the overextension, you know, trying to get a sneaky pull, and it's actually your AR who would probably be your last line. Spacely fires 50 bullets, connects with none.
You know, sometimes when you watch a movie and they shoot a gun and nothing happens, they realize they had blanks in their gun.
Yeah.
Do you think Spacely potentially had blanks in his gun?
Like he was going to rob a like a bank and he had like a big Tommy gun. And he's shooting and just like pebbles falling to the ground.
Sort of what it looked like. That was painful.
Oh, he didn't really hit anybody, so.
So it was the opposite of painful. It was actually like, it was ticklish. It was tickly as he just like shot those by there. It felt like a bug.
Like, what is this wind flying by?
Yeah, exactly. But it was a good move though, going through connector. He
it was a great route.
Too.
Yeah, just wasn't able to connect with the shots.
All right, so let's watch Fears now. He starts out 3-0, trying to attack a player there at top glass. He's getting pushed low, too. The MR6, deadly as always. So he knows he's got a bit of an opening here if he can pick off this last player, but he's going to get flanked from behind. Who managed to get in behind? Was that Fizzer? No, sorry, Saints coming in behind him.
Really slow CTF this far. Compared to the other ones, I believe in the Optic game, we already had like at least one score by now, maybe two, and you're going to see Fears push this out down towards Palace. Saints set up to defend that. He is not moving from this position, just trying to play as much defense as he can. I believe there's another player actually attacking Saints down there on the lower side of the map. Spacely has the base clear.
They should spawn
But look
Palace.
at this. Nobody watching the overextension for LG.
This is odd.
Oh, why
well,
you pushing up the map?
One player rotated back. Oh, well. Not going to connect. He doesn't realize there's a second player there, and we're going to have a standoff. That might be a return. It is. This could be a counter cap here for H2K. They're flying down wall run here. One player going to be top AC. That's going to be Saints. So he's got one. Nice shots coming in. Should back that fly carrier up. Yeah, he's going to rotate right back. He's in between a rock and a hard place now as they're pinching from both sides. There's going to be a return coming in. John going to actually
play defense.
John picked it up. I thought the return was coming in there. They don't actually get it. So John flying back.
There is nobody playing any semblance of defense. Just players just running everywhere. All right, there you go. You get a flag return. See if they can get the flag.
Can John get it through?
There you go,
All
John.
right. So that was
really rough to watch.
A ridiculous sequence of events, but ultimately they're going to get a score on the board. It's going to be Luminosity.
I think maybe like 3 seconds before that happened, I was like, this is a really slow CTF.
I think he saw the bottom of his feet there jumping across. He's able to get one. Vision Pulse tags him, tries to turn around, pick up 1, 2 down, make it 3. Fear's the only one up now, trying to push forward. The good thing is at least he's on the offensive right now, so he can apply some pressure, really make sure they don't get too much map control right now.
That was one of the oddest sequences from I'm actually just more kind of baffled from Luminosity because they pick up a bunch of kills and then they get the flag and they're like pushing it towards mid-map. Like, where do you think they're coming from? They're overextending towards your flag. Like,
yeah, it definitely
there's no
was
reason to leave your own base.
You don't usually overextend across top middle.
Right.
One player able to get into the back. That's going to be Spacely. He's going to win that gunfight. He's got Saints to lead the way. This player's tagged up. He was caught mid-reload, though, but he is tagged. So he's able to clean that one up. He's got John to run the flag towards. Legal overextending. It looks like they spawned Palace and start to fly through.
They're going to challenge replay straight
Someone
up
wrap
down
that up.
Flag. That's not a good idea. He has that AR in the back.
Yeah, Spacely should be good as long as Fears gets stopped. If Fears is actually able to pick up both kills, he wraps underneath. He's eventually going to get closed out. That's going to be a second cap here from Luminosity. They're looking strong here, looking to close this out, but that's 4 down. Where's the flag pull going to come from? It's going to be going to Lacefield. This one may be a counter cap, but look how far they spawn out because you don't get out quick enough. The timing doesn't work out very well for them at all, so that's got a lot of replays to spawn forward. You see the flag come across. across. The MR6 able to connect. They stop the flag carrier for now. John not in a position. Spacely is. They get the return. And did that fall off?
Yeah, it actually did fall
off.
He was trying to hit that side. No, he was trying to hit that side wall where the flag actually fell off. Yeah.
Those MR6 shots from replays turn out to be crucial, because if that stays on the map, that's probably a score, right? Oh, God.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, Fierce pushing bottom broken with the Annihilator. We've seen him do some sick stuff with this. Needs to make a huge play here, and not going to be able to find replays in the back of the base. You have Spacely. He pops his Annihilator as well on some base defense. 30 seconds left. Nobody in the lobby above 10 kills. Very slow here in the opening moments, opening round of this CTF.
Currently, Lacefield is averaging 6.6 kills per minute. No, sorry, he's got 4 now. I take it back. A bit higher, 0.8. This has been a slow one, for sure.
And he's just gonna try and roam, trying to pick up another kill. I guess maybe potentially works. Or
see, I'm trying to understand that spawn from. I saw Lacefield, I think, spawn the whole way in Palace with really no one in an aggressive position there at all. Maybe that was registering. There was a player sort of near broken. I thought he was more towards glass. I just want to kind of figure out exactly what forces that spawn at Palace, because that's such a big part of it. Like, if Replays doesn't get that spawn at Palace, he doesn't stop that flagpole. So like, you almost always have to, if you're trying to get a score from the other side, you almost always need to run it outskirts. Like, you can't take it middle because that potential spawn at Palace.
I think it actually might be, you know, maybe that player kind of aiding and bottom broken, looking out towards that left-hand side.
Yeah, you know, based off of vision there. Oh, look at this. I love it. Oh my God, if he would have died there through the smoke, he can't line this up. Fizzerp just sees this head. He's not able to pick it off. I like this. Smokes out his own. This did not work.
No, that did not work. That
did not work at all.
It's actually going to be 3 dead.
This might be a cap
is actually going to be taken all the way back to the Luminosity base.
Well, you know, Fizzerp, I like the play. You smoke out top broken, you try to pull the snipe out, but unfortunately you whiffed on a couple snipes, and that is a cap in the opening 40 seconds.
Yep, and then the kills keep coming in favor of Luminosity. Spacely pushing out Fierce with the MR6.
I love the sound of it. Pop, 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 pop. And then someone's just Jesus.
Oh, it is so awesome to watch somebody who is talented with that gun really cause some chaos. Replays in the back of the H2K base with his scythe. Gonna be pushing out now. Legal gonna be pulling the flag. Here. I feel like this is make or break for H2K. They don't get a score here off of this kind of sequence of events. Could be over for them.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's just they have an escort for either side. Saints is going to come. I think they should have sent 2 people through. I mean, he's going to have a tough time returning this by himself, I think. Never mind. He might be okay. Because now they're going to get penched. From the other side, I think you have John coming in. John closes out. Saints will be there for the return, and Replays should have a score. 4-0 is the score. Like clockwork, that is Luminosity able to put through. That was
There's another player for Luminosity in the H2K base. Somebody's gotten by. Looks like he's super dead.
He's super dead. I take it back. He has kinetic.
He has kinetic, and he should be able to make it out in the green. Saints behind him, picks up a kill. You got Replays in the base. Watching these players from H2K coming on the OE. It's going to be Fizzerp and Fierce. Both of these guys have to go massive. Fierce picks up 1, not able to finish off the second. Fizzerp, though, there to clean up John. You see an HC come in as well. Replays actually team kills Spacely, who is going to pick up the flag.
I was confused. I was like, how do they not have... I was just staring at the minimap, like, how do they not have this flag headed towards the base? I hope... Thankfully, you have a 4-0 lead. But that should have been a score. That absolutely should have been a score. And that's just Replays probably not realizing that, you know, Spacey was going to be able to make a play there and get the kill before the return. Right. So he pulls in the HC, and it's just one of those awkward sequence of events where you just kind of make snap decisions and they don't really pan out. But thankfully, you have a 4-0 lead, so you don't get punished so much for the miscue.
But really, this is a tough one for H2K.
Oh no! You want to see how to get Annihilator burnt? This is. I
want to see him turn around the corner and just blame this guy with it.
This is how you get Annihilator wasted.
Oh, that was very close to connecting. I would have loved to see him just turn around the corner, and Spacely's body would have just been blown.
I was surprised he challenged it because he saw that he had Annihilator. He saw that gun peek out. I was surprised that he like went into his line of sight there. But
right, like you figure the guy's aimed in on the doorway, like towards the middle of the doorway. Like probably not strafing in front of the doorway would have been the best option to take there.
All right, well, Spacely rotating back as he spawned out. Palace knows there is something afoot here. He's going to wrap back, comes in backside of Lab. There's 2 players applying pressure. You have one coming in, steps from ACA. It's going to be Fierce. He's got MR6 up. He's challenging around the corner. He's going to melt to the VMP there. Spacely, Fizzer able to pick up one. He needs a little bit of help, tries to turn. Nothing he can do with 80 seconds left. I don't know. There's no answer for H2K.
4 flags, 80 seconds.
Sounds like the title to a movie.
Yeah, this would be a monumental collapse.
Similar to that, like 100 and
we've never seen anything like that. Like 4 flags in a minute. No, I don't think so.
No, that's not possible. I hate to call games over, but I don't even know if you could get pulls and score that quickly.
No, you could. You could. It's just
could you?
So rare. You would have to string together, you know.
You need the other team not playing.
You would need to string together something like 10, 15 kills, like not like in an exact row, but you would need to rattle off significant streaks and then have players run the flag as well.
It's a MR6 party right now. Everybody rocking it. 35 seconds left in our final match of the night for Week 5 before we get ready here for UMG South Carolina this weekend. It's a big weekend. You know, my birthday's Monday. We got Valentine's Day. So if you have loved ones, that's great. If you don't, that day probably stinks. But it's gonna be a great weekend.
Oh, the way you put that, it's so sad.
Well, you know, it's true.
Nah,
I'm a truth teller.
You are. You are.
If there's one thing I am, it's very, very truthful.
You do not live your life on a throne of lies.
I do not, but 4-0 is the score. Luminosity getting yet another win. We're going to take a look at the scoreboard, some highlights, and then as quickly as we can, I really want to hop into standings as we break down the results after Week 5. But first things first, let's wrap up this particular game as soon as we can. We'll look at the scoreboard here. But good showing by Luminosity.
Yes.
H2K, you saw some life. They extend the series, but I mean, that one wasn't close. They really got outplayed. Luminosity looked like a much more structured team in CTF. CTF takes a lot of very, very solid communication, very good structure from the team. I know there was that one sequence where everyone seemed like they had no idea what they were doing, but I think for Luminosity, they certainly looked like they had it more together for sure.
And I mean, you didn't get a lot of kills out of the side of
either side.
Yeah, I mean, either side.
That was a slow one, right?
Yeah, it was pretty slow. Luminosity just wins those stalemates. I think it was like 1 or 2. They were able to make some nice plays.
Well,
so
every stalemate they won.
Every stalemate pretty much went in their favor. Nah. I think it was legal with a really rough game. He leaves it, so I don't know his exact score, but I believe I only saw like 7 or 8 kills at the time.
Well, it was rough enough that he doesn't want us to talk about it.
Well, we can roughly talk about it. It was about somewhere in the 7 to 10 area.
Approximately.
Approximately.
We'll take a look at the stats here. You can see nothing to standing out too much, but
3 returns from Saints.
You see a positive kind of across the board. You know, outside of Spacely, we saw Spacely come up certainly with some big plays.
Everybody with a fly cap.
Yeah, really, and that's what we talked about. You know, kind of comparing them to Rise earlier. That's every win they had, I think, was like really well rounded, right? Like all of their respawns.
Not one person who's going to carry the entire ship.
Yeah. Just really, really well-rounded effort out of these guys. You'll see some of the highlights coming in from this particular match. That was a rough series of events there for poor Fizzer. Not only does he takes a couple shots there, but he's up there that entire time until the smoke disappears, for God's sake. By that time, the entire time he was sniping, someone actually got behind him and broken.
I think it was like 3 players dead.
Yeah. That was
for
tough.
H2K, he might have been the last one up, and he gets taken out. Just a really rough game for H2K. I want to see how they bounce back this weekend at UMG. Hopefully they have a good showing.
Well, first things first, before we chat about UMG a little bit, let's take a look at the standings here. To close out Week 5, who's sitting at the top? It is still the boys in blue and the green wall, tied at 8-2. I'm pretty sure it's 1 or 2 map wins that, or map losses, that separate these guys. And then look across the board then, man. Complexity
CLG
tied,
gets out of the bottom.
tied.
And the thing that I'm looking at is look at the, I don't want to say
so did Elevate and TSM both lose?
Yes.
So who did Elevate had a tough match? It was Rise, right? I think it was Elevate Rise.
Wasn't it? Actually, no, it was Elevate versus Cole.
Elevate Cole. So yes, they lost. So Cole goes to 7-3.
Cole goes up to 7-3. You have Elevate fall down to 5-5. TSM to 5-5. Man, that TSM match is big. They win that one, and they move up a little bit. But what shocks me is FaZe, a team that comes into the week, tied for 2nd? They go all the way down. I believe it was like 5th.
And they're sitting behind Complexity. It's gotta sting even a little bit more.
A little bit more.
But let's take a look at the schedule for next Tuesday. Obviously, the guy's going to be traveling this weekend for UMG South Carolina. But when they get back, we're right back into the Call of Duty World League Stage 1. First match is a doozy. Rise Nation going up against Complexity. When you take a look through the rest of these, I think FaZe Clan Elevate stands out for me as well.
That's not an easy game for FaZe whatsoever.
No, those opening and closing matches are really, really strong ones.
It'll be awesome to see TSM as an organization go against Optic for the first time.
Poor H2K can't buy a break.
They cannot catch a break.
They play Envy.
They cannot catch a break.
That's certainly tough. Taking a look at the schedule. And then the last thing I kind of want to close out really is talking about the Challenger Division event, UMG South Carolina this weekend. It's going to be a fantastic event. You got $100,000 in prize pool. You have 30 grand of that guaranteed for the open bracket, which is great. So you have these guys coming up, Challenge Division, amateur players. A lot of times they really didn't have a realistic chance of prize money because they had to get the championship bracket against all the pro teams.
Now they do. They have a lot of it.
I love it. Personally, I love it
towards them,
it gives teams a chance that never really get an opportunity to play. I mean, a lot of these kids coming, amateur teams, they're playing just for to get noticed. There's not really prize pool on the line. Now they have a chance again. That's this weekend, 12th through the 14th. I don't know the stream link yet, but make sure you're tuning in. It might be twitch.tv/Call of Duty, but don't quote me on that. Really, really excited because we haven't had a LAN since the qualifier. We have Stage 1 coming up. It's all been about Stage 1 really up to this point. But this is that first Challenger Division event. And
be fun. Jack and
we're all pumped.
Jack and Revan head out. What, tomorrow? They leave.
We're going to be taking our ladies out for a romantic double date, aren't we?
All supported by Maven's wallet.
That is true. That is very, very true.
Thank you, Optic.
Yeah. I'm now an Optic fan due to the fact I'm not paying for dinner, right?
Yep.
But hey, it's been a ton of fun. Thank you guys for watching. We're through 5 weeks here of the Call of Duty World League. Have a fantastic weekend watching UMG South Carolina. I know we will be as well.
Tomorrow, 5 p.m. Bracket show.
Oh, what am I thinking? We still have the bracket show tomorrow.
Bracket show tomorrow, 5 p.m.
It's going to be exciting stuff. We'll see you guys tomorrow. 5 o'clock.